Lit in Esperance, a program about books written by Esperance authors, books about Esperance, being read was part of our radio reading program. You can listen in on Thursdays from 8 p.m. on 103.9 Hope FM. All the books on the program will be available if you want to read them for yourselves at our local bookshop and at Esperance Public Library. Lit in Esperance. Listen in on Thursdays from 8 p.m. on 103.9 Hope FM.
Lit in Esperance, a radio for reading program, showcases literature by local writers about Esperance. In tonight's episode, we will explore poems about Esperance by John Budeselik from John's anthology West Australian Poems that each evoke a strong sense of place. This is Magic Secrets, 11 Mile by John Budeselik. Autumn winds blow, fresh chilly air, southern ocean, the water is crisp. No people around, white beaches bare, feel like the only man that exists. I see out on island black rock, the swell crash over the crest. Up fly seabirds as one flock, they return to look for their nest. Beach sand damp where I stop to camp, even though top layer look dry. Butterfly dance above flower plant, cirrus clouds tangle the sky. Dragonfly zip through vegetation, hundreds of them in a tribe. Wing beat, snappy rotation, fly close but never collide. Blackbird with orange beak ready, poised and set to attack, quick his eye and footwork steady, hunting for crab in granite rock crack. Cormorant shag, his tail feathers wag, as he crash into ocean like lightning. Time pass till he finally drag himself to surface with whiting. Albatross follow shape of the shore, hang 10 into headwind wide-eyed. No movement below he ignore, he is the king of the art of the glide. Feeling weary and weathered, he roost for a 1-minute break, landing vertical down, wings feathered, then give a quick flap and a shake. A rearranged broom with beak he prune, upward return to silhouette sky. Evening coming, nighttime soon, homeward bound he fly. Foam roll in, hit jagged reef face, blocking its straightforward travel. Machine gun spray, rat-a-tat race, quick volley, whitewash unravel. Shadows creep as sun sink low, darkness not far away. Creatures of coast glow in the show, powdered, shrouded in fine misty spray. The scene is serene, you know what I mean. Southern coast battened down for the cold. Cream of the cream, real life dream, magic secrets between them behold. Hello, Lois Saunders here. I'm talking with John Budeselik and I've asked him what his connection is to Esperance.
John Budeselik. My connection to Esperance, sort of goes back a few years, I suppose, getting older now. First went down to Esperance in about 1968. I think I was, around about 13, and, we lived between Jerry and Ravy. Dad managed the farm for his mate who had a farm out Dempster Road there, and so I started coming across and helping him put in a crop and whatever and harvesting it. Started to become associated with Esperance way back then. Through the years of working down that way and a long association with Esperance, not a ratepayer myself, but nevertheless, a lot of the months I'm in Esperance. I've been working at schools in the whole area over the last 26 years, helping or showing the kids how to write poetry and songs and improving their general narrative writing. I was asked to do that somewhere along the line, even though I was farming, and I thought, well, as an author and songwriter, why not? So, that created a whole new life for me, apart from farming, which I eventually gave up and became my career.
Thank you, John, for filling us in on your background. Now we'll hear a series of 4 poems, each set at Cape Le Grand.
Whale Rock 1, Le Grand. Seagulls circle in the air till he get up high. Drop a crab down below on granite rock to die. He hits real hard, cracks his shell. Poor old crab, don't feel too well. Before he know it, bird drop down and eat him up to ocean sound. With tummy full as sun sink low, bird cleans himself from head to toe. One last fly before he nest. As darkness falls, he land to rest. Scans the coast, then the sea. He happy bird, crab for tea. Whale Rock 2, Le Grand. Last song of birds till tomorrow light. They sleep under new full moon, fluffing feathers, closing their eyes, listening to bush time tune. Night life take over, come out to play. Different creatures heard, they make up song, sing real loud, lullaby to the bird. From time beginning, the sound of the sea join with sound of the land. That moment each evening, a change of the guard. At dusk, quick shake of hand. Whale Rock 3, Le Grand. Wind-swept kangaroo lives a happy life on a beach second to none. His dark winter coat, black paws and nose, facing the morning sun. Still half sleepy, cleaning himself, ocean aqua blue. Sitting on his tail, coastline untouched, enjoying first-class view. Scratching his arms and his side, then wiping his face. Creeping slowly down the slope between flowers interlace. Every few hops, he stops for a feed. A stem hangs from his mouth. Ears alert, back and forth, tracking from north to south. Bushy and wild, white blaze on his chest, salted wind of the sea. He lives on the coast with his doe to keep him company. Whale Rock 4, Le Grand. Up the creek, Mr. Frog find voice, sing a happy tune. He and his mates croak away beneath new full moon. I turn to go, it's hard to leave. The sounds ask me to stay, but I decline and bid farewell, end of another day. Night life take over, nocturnal are heard. No more sound from daytime bird. They sleep in the trees, serenaded by night. Their turn to sing at morning's first light. The sounds of the land, the sounds of the sea, take it in turns, in harmony.
John, can you tell us where the inspiration for your poems comes from?
Just happens that, like, we go in Esperance, you got your good farmland, of course, your inland, and you got your coastal, and the sunrise and all the stuff that you start to see, whether you're a writer or whether you're not. You just notice stuff being a country person, and growing up in the country all my life, you start to get these one-off situations when you see. You could be down 9 Mile a day, or you could be actually even in town, and you'll just see this one thing, and it's your chance. You know, that's your moment. When it gets thrown at you, it's for no one else. You see the tourists try and capture it with a photo or whatever, but I just generally just look at it and watch it with my eyes, and that's my time, and it's in your head, and if it sticks there enough, you end up being compelled to do something about it, maybe, write a song or a poem about it.
Never the Same. From Poems About Esperance by John Budeselik. From John's anthology, West Australian Poems. Either for better or worse, to return is never the same. A beach no more, along that shore, the ocean, she's to blame. That driving force from southern course, with no mercy to all in its way. Repeatedly crash, strong waves smash, coastline slowly decay. But the results are never obtrusive or hard to fully comprehend. Beauty remains as another wave gains momentum to come to its end. Southern Guardian, Hellfire Bay. From Poems About Esperance by John Budeselik. From John's anthology, West Australian Poems. Southern Guardian of our land remains a massive statue cast, sea-kissed warrior's final stand from 1,000 centuries past. Hellfire Beach he had found when his time had come, ran aground, swung around to face the heat of rising sun. This earthly shape extreme he caretake from the bay, to ensure this coast a living dream, remain that way to stay. Just another granite rock form, unnoticed amongst peak and rise, with walls eroded, weather-worn, camouflage bush disguise. Half hidden behind bank of green until a summer fire went through. It was only then I had seen his image, detail, sharp and true. The fluted fins along his flank, the battle scars long and deep, where enemy teeth vicious sank to leave a trail black blood seep. This battle-weary monument from fathom depths offshore, outstanding feature prominent, until Mallee grows again once more. Into Town at 3, from Poems About Esperance by John Budeselik, from John's anthology West Australian Poems. Into Town at 3. I parked on the hill, viewed the lights of town, admired what I saw, then drove on down. Cruising along the beach, not a soul in sight. Darkness of the ocean, broken by the jetty's yellow light. Everyone was sleeping, all Esperance was in bed. I had the windows down, wind blowing through my head. How do you get the metre and rhyme?
In general, most people have a rhyme in their head, generally one syllable and one line after the other. Cat and fat, sky and high, that sort of thing. But I tend to get away from the two-line rhyme, which is what I just mentioned, to starting to get a bit of advancement and into a four-line rhyme and then more comprehensive sort of rhyming patterns. And that just kind of comes about in anything you're in, once you're having a go at anything of a hobby or whatever, you get better at it. So I suppose you start off with the basic ones that I've been giving to the kids, and as they go up through into upper primary and into high school, they start to get into the more complex sort of rhyming patterns. And the more complex the rhyming patterns, and you make sense of it, better sense of achievement, and also it's a better poem. The repetitions, the alliterations, metaphors, personification, onomatopoeias, all those sort of ones, contrasting, all the figures of speech come in handy. And they present a better sentence in the narrative, but they can come in handy in your poem. Didn't start off writing that way, but as I said, you get better at it. And those internal rhymes, I just like the challenge of not only having your normal basic rhyme with the last word finishing rhyming at the end of the given line, but it's nice to throw in a double rhyme somewhere in between. It throws in that double hit, which gives it a nice little quick beat. And it's just good fun.
With your lexical choice or your diction, sometimes it's almost pidgin English. Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, there is actually. Some of it we call it Australian Standard English now, but not really. I call it the Queen's English, the old Oxford Dictionary when we grew up as kids. Basically, some of the poems, the vocabulary and the wording's pretty accurate. But that pidgin English you're talking about, a lot of Australians talk. We don't speak pidgin English, but we certainly drop the G and we'll run and jump and skipping. So why not write like that? And then the ones that are even more pidgin English, I've been in the Kimberley and the Pilbara for most of my life since I was 13 as well. That first year in Esperance in 68, I was up in the Kimberley at the same time and been going to those areas ever since. And that last book, a third of my poems, or 28, 29, are about the Esperance area, with the other 40 or so are about Pilbara and Kimberley, and that's where that pidgin English sort of comes in. And particularly within some Indigenous people, talk how I do at times, and so it's easy to read, and therefore hopefully influences certain people to write in certain different ways, depending on how they like to talk themselves.
Nine-Mile Return, from Poems About Esperance by John Budeselik, from John's anthology West Australian Poems. 9-Mile Return. Along the shore, left to right, the lagoon remains pristine. Flocks of birds, masters of flight, give wet feathers a preen. A first quick glance at rocks and plants, beach sand and sandbar. The morning birds sing and dance, no need to play guitar. They been here all the while, they smart, no need to shift. Living life, first-class style, every morning sing a riff. If they could say what they could see each day, wouldn't the stories be grand? Revelling in personal accolade, from heroics gained first hand. Never-ending danger or quick death, or stories of romantic mystique. The first or last of life's breath, if only the birds could speak. The ocean roar, thunderstorm pour, or hot heat wave weather, what they see on ocean floor in their daily survival endeavour. The stories untold since creation, just blown away in the sky, would be a magical revelation, the number one book to buy. Locked in their beak, unable to speak, they play in the morning's first light. No such book will be written by these coastal masters of flight. And that's Lit in Esperance for this week.